Okay, so, yeah, that might be a good idea, actually, lovely. We've got crimp bead covers. Now, these are some of the smallest findings. By the way, I've got one of those bangles left. If you want to add it to your order, Derbyshire, Hampshire, Kent, Staffordshire, Norfolk, Maker, or East Sussex, go for it. Well done. One left. Crimp bead covers, they are one of the smallest findings that we produce here at JewelleryMaker. They are one of the smallest, but my absolute word, one of the most useful findings. Crimp bead covers are something which, whether you are a beader, whether you are a wire worker, whether you make stretchy bracelets, you know, everybody needs crimp bead covers, don't they? What do crimp bead covers do, Rachel?
So they're multi-purpose, really. I mean, its original purpose is when you've done a crimp on your beading wire, is the fact that it covers it, so it looks like it's a bead. So it basically, it doesn't look like a crimp. The other thing is it doesn't rub against your skin, because sometimes you can get a little bit of sharpness on your crimp beads. So the idea is you cover them, but like you said, you can use them on a stretch bracelet. You could use them to cover the knot if you haven't got a bead for the knot to slide into. The other thing is with your marlers as well, quite often when you're attaching your tassel, sometimes you might not want the knot showing, or perhaps there might be a bit more of a gap, so you can cover it with the crimp beads. And sometimes perhaps if you've not quite finished the jewellery tension enough in a necklace, and it's perhaps with the knot in, it's taken you a long time, you might just need that crimp cover without you having to redo the whole thing again.
So these really are an absolute essential in everyone's jewellery. I'm just trying to show you here. If you've got a necklace that you've made and you've knotted it and you want to cover that knot, you can put it on. If you've made a beautiful bracelet, hang on. If you've made a lovely bracelet like these ones here, and you can see Rachel's put a little knot on the end. If you want to put something to cover that little knot on the end as a little embellishment, pop a crimp bead cover there. If you make a necklace or a bracelet, any kind of beaded jewellery, and you find it's a little bit baggy, it's got a little bit too much room, you want to tighten it up a little bit, it's one of the only findings that you can retrofit, and you can tighten up that design. So with this crimp bead here, you might want to use one, you might not want to cover all these knots, but you might want to cover just these bottom few knots here. So put one there, one there, one there, one there, and it just creates that lovely sense of direction.
You might think,
exactly. You might think piece. After you've made that piece, do you know what? It looks a little bit loose, or it looks, and I want to add a bit of interest. Then these are absolutely perfect in your stretchy bracelets, as you've already said, or stretchy rings to cover your knot, because knotted elastic not only doesn't look particularly nice, but you want to kind of give your jewellery a really lovely flow. By adding in your crimp covers, it really does cover it nicely. These are one of those findings that you can't make yourself. You know, there are certain findings like, I don't know, head pins, jump rings, eye pins. You can make them yourself. Takes a bit of time, takes a bit of effort. I wouldn't bother, considering the quality and the prices that we bring you here on